money, power, and respect. And the reason why I named it this is because this is what people come to me for. People want to know, Chandra, I want to make money in my business. I want more power in my community. And what does that mean? That doesn't mean in a negative way. Power meaning you want power to leverage helping other people, and power that you're able to have some influence on decisions. You have some influence to make things happen for people or whoever you're trying to help in the world. But there is a way to be able to do that, right? There's a way to have power and use that power for good. So make money, use that money for good, have power, right? And leverage that power and have the respect that when people call you, people are inviting you to the table. You have politicians that want your endorsement. You have people that want to sit at their tables at galas, at events. Like all these things I've been able to do, and I still do. And you meet very important people at these tables. But how do you get there? How do you even get to be asked to do these type of things, right? So that's where the respect comes in. So I wanted to teach people how to do this. This is what being a powerhouse to me is all about. So we're going to move on to the next slide. So that's me, right? Welcome. I want to welcome everybody for taking the time to watch this today or watching the replay later. It's going to be live. It's going to be planted here on the in the Facebook group. So you're in the right place, right? If you're ready to do the work and you want to start that business. You want to leave your 9 to 5 and are struggling because you're afraid of leaving a secure job that pays well, yet you want to make your own money and work on your own schedule, right? Many of us do. I wake up when I want to, but usually I want to wake up super early and get to work because I love what I do. I will work all day and all night because I love what I do. I'm so passionate about it. So it doesn't get old to me, right? But when you are an entrepreneur, you control your schedule. You can go spend time with your kids. You have the freedom to do that, right? So you know you're meant for more and you have felt that you have a calling in your life and you want to make an impact in your community and start a movement. And that's exactly how I felt for years before I launched my business. I knew I had something deep down inside of me. I just didn't know what it was, but it wouldn't leave me alone. Every job I had purpose and it was involved in the community and it had impact, but it just was never enough. It was never fulfilling enough because it wasn't my vision and it wasn't my own ideas. I was implementing other people's vision and ideas. So this masterclass is not for you if you question the process and don't want to do the work. You're here just to watch and think that you'll find the answers to be able to start that business, thinking you'll find a quick fix, right? And you are constantly second guessing yourself and don't want to invest. And I can tell you, I meet people every day that do this. They don't invest in themselves. They don't put money behind their ideas. They're too scared. They put money behind everything else and pay for everything else, but they won't put money behind their own ideas. They won't invest in that gut feeling and in that major idea that you've been sitting on for many years. All right. So if that's not you, then don't watch the rest of this masterclass. So my promise to you is I will deliver a lot of value in 60 minutes as possible. Nothing I teach you today is based on theory. It's all fact. It's everything that I've done. Everything you'll learn has already been tested and proven to work. So in return, I ask that you keep an open mind about what I'm about to teach you and you take plenty of notes, okay, from what you learned today. Tips for watching this masterclass. Sit in a quiet place with a notebook and pen and take notes. Make sure you're somewhere with no distractions and you don't have any other tabs open so you can focus on what I'm about to teach you. During this masterclass, you're going to learn how I left my 9 to 5 and created a successful social focused business, making up to $20,000 to $50,000 a month. How to position yourself to land local and state community and business awards. How to elevate your brand and name on podcasts and publications. And how I've used my money, power, and influence to help more people and make the impact I always desired. How to position yourself to speak on stages and conferences. Okay, so if you stay to the end and you're interested in what I have to offer you at the end, then you're going to get so many bonuses. And one bonus is this business plan template that we created. It's an online platform to help you build out your whole business plan is right here. Okay, it's everything. You can plug it in, your mission, your vision, your values, your services, financing, your goals, your products, your pricing, your budgets, like everything is in this business plan template. Okay. I also am going to provide your consulting business power plan. So it's just information on how to start your consulting business. A lot of people want to start consulting businesses in their field or in their expertise, but they just don't know how to start, right? You're also going to get your leave your 9 to 5 plan. So how I left my 9, you're going to get the step-by-step process and what I did to finally leave. And you're going to get all these bonuses, okay? So right now, like, which one would you be interested in? If you were going to make a decision, like which one is like, oh, I need that. I can tell you a lot of people come to me and say, Chandra, I need to create a business plan. So that business plan template would be great for you. Some people say, Chandra, I want to start my own consulting firm. So the consulting business power plan would be great for you. Or some people say, Chandra, eventually I want to leave my 9 to 5. I just want to start the steps to get there. Then the 9 to 5 PDF would probably be the best bet for you. So tell me in the comments which one you would like, right? Or which one that you think that would resonate with you. Just put that in the comments. All right. So this picture is a house, right? You see the wood and the frame in the background, right? This is the house. To me is a business, and it takes a lot of building blocks and layers to create that whole house, right? So building a house is this is the foundation, right? And when you're building a house or just when you're building a business, you have to create that foundation. And that foundation is so important to me, right? So when you have that foundation, then you go up and put the insulation, because you have the shell and the foundation, you put that insulation in. And then you have the electrical, right? You have to add the electrical. There's layers upon layers before you get a full house. You put the walls in, and then you have a beautiful home, right? This is exactly, okay, what I'm talking about when I talk about business and how many layers you need to put in there before you have a successful business. People want to launch a business and they want it to be successful in the first week. And that isn't true, right? And I want women, I want people, I want anybody that works with me to understand that there's work behind it. I've been doing this for several years and I'm still not at the place I want to be. I'm still working my way up, but I've been working every day at this. Okay. I haven't been dibbling and dabbling. I've been doing this every day. All right. And what I did was I hired a business coach. Was the number one way I built my confidence to not give a fuck about anybody anymore. Right. That coach let me borrow her confidence so I could finally take action and stop worrying about what people think. Right. But at the end of the day, it wasn't my coach that got me the results. It was the consistent work that I did and the commitment to the process. Like, you have to have the vision and see it, right? And know that there's several steps that it's going to take to get there. You have to be able to see it and know that that's the end goal. Okay, but what do I have to do in between that end goal? We all want to be rich. We all want to have success. We all want to have a business, a successful business. But the reason why you don't know a lot of successful business owners and entrepreneurs is because a lot of people don't want to do the work. A lot of people don't have that heart, don't have that commitment. Everybody wants quick success. Everybody wants fast money. But I could promise you that doesn't happen overnight. There are never, ever overnight successes. Okay? Ever. Unless it's random. Random. That's all. And that's it. So if you don't know who I am, and you're new to my page, or have never seen any of my posts or whatnot, I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, and a former wife. I say former wife. And when I'm not helping women become powerhouses, you can probably find me watching reality TV and cooking or riding my Peloton. My Peloton is right here on my left side. So every morning when I get up to start my day, I get on my Peloton, I go take my shower, and I come back on my desk and I'm working in my office. So, and at night when I'm going to bed, I put on my reality TV to wind down and it puts me to sleep. That's really all I do. Okay. That's my fun and that's my life, but I love it. And that's me. Okay. So recently I was honored because I got my face painted. I had a portrait created by this amazing artist who has painted Jennifer Lopez, Kamala Harris, our president, Michelle Obama, LeBron James, right? And there's little old me, right? So I got an award, and this was my award, right? This is better than any type of award. You guys can see behind me are all my awards that I have that I've been able to get throughout the years for the hard work that I put into my community as an advocate, as an activist, as a community leader, right? When you're a leader and when you're an activist and when you're just doing the work, the awards and the, you know, just like in business, the awards come, but just in business, if you do the work, the money is going to follow. And when you do the work in community, the accolades and the appreciation will come. And just in this year, 2023, the California Black Chamber of Commerce, state legislator, business brunch, they honored me with Outstanding Leadership Award in business. So I was honored to be able to grab that award. And in the past, I've gotten awards from LULAC. It's a Latino organization. I've gotten a Woman of the Year in Advocacy from 100 Black Women of Silicon Valley. And I received most influential women in Silicon Valley from the Silicon Valley Business Journal. And I was inducted into the East Side Hall of Fame, which is the district of where I grew up, of my high school. And that was a huge honor to me. I've been featured in all these publications, okay? So I'm not a newbie here. I've been doing this for a long time. So at this part of the webinar, I'm showing you my credibility. And this is what I teach my clients. You have to build this credibility. And I teach my clients on how to get published in all these amazing opportunities. Why would anybody want to publish me, right? I have something to say. I have a message. I have a mission. I have a vision, right? So all these people have published me. All these publications have put me in their journals or in their publications or highlighted me in some way when it comes to my business, okay? And this can happen for you. This is not that hard to do, and this is what I teach all my clients how to do. So in 2017, I said it was now or never, right? I was going to launch my business or I was going to stop. I think I was about to turn 40. And I was like, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. I need to launch my business before I'm 40. And that's what kind of pushed me. I was like, oh, I'm coming to that age. And now I'm 45, right? I'm 45 now. And I'm telling you, there's still time, right? I coach women in their 60s that are building businesses, 65 that have built foundations and nonprofits and giving out scholarships. So it's never too late to start something. So never think it's too late. I just was at a certain age and I was like ready to go and I was ready to be focused. So I knew at that time that I always had a vision of empowering and changing life since I was a teenager. And as the years flew by, all my jobs, professional roles were in community development, activism, uplifting communities. And no matter the role, I remember I always just felt unsettled and not fulfilled. There was always something missing. So I decided to hire a coach in 2017, still while working my full-time job. And I tell people to do that. Hire a coach while you're working. Use that money to invest in a coach. Don't just leave your job and then start a business. I always tell people to hire somebody while you're still working so then you can build that business. It took me 9 months before I left my job. Right? I hired a coach and I started building. So I would work throughout the day. I would get my kids to bed and I would work in the evenings, or I would wake up early in the mornings and work in my business before my kids woke up. So I was doing all this stuff and trying to balance it at the same time. So when people tell me they don't have time to do anything, I don't like to listen to them because we have time to do the things that we want. Right? So I needed help building my vision. So I hired a coach in 2017. At that time, I was overworked. I had a dream, right, that I wanted to fulfill. I wanted to make a difference and impact in the community at the same time. I just didn't know how to make it happen. I didn't know how I was going to still make that impact that I was making in my work and community, but also in a successful business. So of course, the family wasn't completely on board, and they thought I was a little crazy. I come from working families, right? Getting a job and a decent salary is the goal for everybody, right? For the majority of society, that's the goal. That's the American dream. But I never thought that way. I always wanted to work for myself. I always had a vision of being an entrepreneur. I remember I would go to restaurants, I would go to stores, and I would look at the owners like, how did they build this? Or how did they even open this? Or what gave them an idea to create this? And I want you all to know that every business, everything that has been created is based off an idea, a microphone, a house, like our phones. Everything was based off an idea, right? It was all an idea. Everything is an idea. So I knew I had something big to share with the world, but nobody was going to talk me out of it at that time. So I finally was like, it's now or never, right? And now being my own boss, well paid and powerful, have a lot of benefits, right? And they do have a lot of benefits. And this is what I try to teach people. Right? It gives me the freedom to create my own schedule, right? Like I told you earlier, I spend more time with my family. I'm inspired, my children and extended family, everybody, like both my kids are entrepreneurs, and it inspires them to be entrepreneurs, right? It allowed me to have unlimited amounts of money and resources, right? I can make a decision every month on how much money I want to make, right? Or I could say, I'm not even going to push it this month. I'm not even going to make any money this month because I made a lot of money last month. So I balance it, right? I balance what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to do it every month. I can really balance it and make as much money as I want. So the next thing is help me meet some amazing people, right? And get in rooms I never imagined. So I've been able to meet some amazing people around the country working in coaching groups, in and being involved with politicians and in community, getting these awards. I've been able to meet some amazing people, right? I've also been able to give larger amounts of money to charities and political campaigns. I remember that I was really only able to give like $20, $50, $100 to politicians that I truly believe that were going to represent the community, right? That were going to represent the people that stood for me and stood for my people. And I would be able to write checks like that. But now I can write bigger checks. I can write $500 checks, $1,000 checks, and really push things in the community and politics, right? And that's where we want our money to go, because that's who they listen to. They listen to the people that have the money, right? So we got to make more money. So most importantly, I didn't have to try to figure it out on my own, right? I had my coach to support me. And this is what people try to figure it out on your own. And you could be a smart cookie. You could be very smart. But if you really don't have the strategy and the connections to make it happen, you're not going to make it happen on your own. You have to have somebody that can see what you can't see, that can really help you craft that vision, a clear plan of action, right? So I finally had a clear plan of action with my coach. I told her my vision and she helped me build it, right? I stopped wondering if this dead end job would be my legacy, right? I didn't want that job that I had to say, that's all I did. And not saying that, and I'm not down talking anybody that has a job, but I wanted my kids and my family to say, wow, my mom or my sister or my daughter, she made a difference and she made an impact. She built this powerhouse academy. She built this powerhouse movement of women that were launching businesses, making six figures and running for office and sitting on boards and commissions, and really made a difference. I want people to say that about me, right? I want to leave a legacy. I don't want, at my funeral, they're just saying, oh, she worked for the city for 30 years and she gave all her time. I want to say that I gave my time to my vision and not to a company or the city or organization, right? Those people don't care about you. They'll drop you in a hot minute. I wanted to really put my time and energy in to build my legacy, right? Right. So I had the support to hold me accountable and focused. And that was the important part of having the coach. Because I'm telling you, accountability is so important. If you don't have somebody on you that's like constantly telling you, okay, look, next Tuesday, I want you to have ABC. And then that Tuesday, you need to have this done. You need to have this done. That's how I coach. That's how I coach. You work with me. I'm like, we're taking action. We're not playing. We're not just like, I'm not just hyping you up. We're really getting things done. So these are 3 massive mistakes to avoid when you have a vision you want to build. Okay. And a lot of us have a vision and we make these mistakes time and time again, right? The first mistake is we're listening to your family and friends that never created anything. Okay. You're listening to family and friends that have never built a business, that have never built nothing big. No disrespect to them. All right. They have good intentions and they're trying to have your back and they're trying to help you, but they've never done it. How are we going to take advice from somebody who's never built any type of vision that we have to share? So you can listen, but one ear and out the other. Don't take it to heart. Like, say, thank you, I appreciate it, but listen to somebody who's done it. All right. So that's number 1 mistake. We share our dream and vision and they talk you out of it and project their own fears on you. Right? They were like, oh, I don't know, that's too risky, or it's not the right time, the economy is bad right now, or oh, somebody else did that, you don't want to do that too. It doesn't matter if somebody else did it, right? Don't you see a McDonald's, a Burger King, a Wendy's, an In-N-Out burger on every corner, right? And they're making multiple million, billions of dollars. So don't listen to anybody that says somebody's already doing it. There's plenty of money and there's plenty of customers out there for you. So you're thinking, I don't feel supported or encouraged to take action, right? I'm too worried about what they will think if they know that I hired a coach, right? And what if this doesn't work out? I will look like a fool. That's all the things you're worried about, right? And we got to stop worrying about what people think, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. People are going to judge you regardless of you take action, you hire a coach, or if you don't, right? And I know what I did. I didn't care. I wasn't going to fail. That wasn't even an option. It was going to work out by any means necessary. I was not folding on this vision because I could see it and I knew I could make it happen. I just needed the guidance to get there. I needed the train to get there. I had the vision. I just needed to jump on that train. And the train is my coaching, and the resources and the accountability. That's my train. That was my train. So, why is this happening to you, right? Because these are only the people. Why are you getting this advice from people? And why is this happening? Why are you going to these people? These are the only people that you have around to ask. You don't have anybody else. You don't have a coach. You don't have mentors to support you that have done anything big. So you have no circle of people around you to really get the advice that you need, right? Our circles are not filled with next level thinkers and game changers. We're only as great as our inner circles. We are. Even me, like, I have to pay to get in rooms to get around millionaires and billionaires. That's where the investment comes in, because it pays off for me to be around these people and become my friends. And now I have people that are making a lot of money that I could pick up the phone and talk to. And that's who I give advice from. I don't get advice from anybody that's never built anything major, right? I created my inner circle. So what's the cost of listening to others? The cost is you get discouraged and get defeated. You're watching other people take action and you're still overthinking it. Unfulfillment and resentment. 6 months to a year goes by and you're still in the same place, frustrated and eager to launch that big vision. I know that there's a lot of people in this Facebook group that have followed me for a long time, and they have had vision, and you're following me because you've had some major ideas. You're just too scared to take action, or you're too scared to reach out to me, or you think I'm too expensive, or whatever you're thinking. This is what it is, right? You're letting your fears, you're letting your preconceived, expectations or notions get to you to make assumptions that you can't work with me, or you're not ready, or you don't have it all together. And I could promise you, you don't have to have it all together to come work with me. Just reach out. You never know. You never know. So it's time to stop people pleasing and appeasing others. Stop worrying about what people think, right? You need to take action now. You need to learn to listen to the right people that have done the things you desire. Your next level is on the other side of a powerful decision to finally take action. So this is Shireen Rivera. She's a ghostwriter. Shireen got nowhere, then came back after 6 months and said she couldn't listen to her friends and family, right? She was an admin at a law firm, right? And she met with me, and then she went back to tell her partner that was another admin assistant. She's like, I'm going to hire a coach and I'm going to do this. And then the girl said, don't do that. That's too much money. Don't invest in the coach. And then 6 months, so she listened to that person. 6 months later, she was still in the same place. And 6 months later, she reached out and said, Chandra, I'm still in the same place. I shouldn't listen to that girl. I need help. Now Shireen is she has a successful publishing company, making in multiple six figures. She left her job. She is a speaker on stages. She has her own TV show. She's a ghostwriter and has written books for judges, for politicians, for CEOs. I mean, she blew up, right? And that's after she went through the Powerhouse Academy and got all the knowledge and tools while working with me as her coach. Mistake number 2, you're not sure whether to start a nonprofit or a for-profit. A lot of people that follow me, they have a heart to help people, right? That's why you're in Purpose Driven Entrepreneurs Facebook group. You want to help people and you want to make a difference. So you're not sure if you want to start a nonprofit or a for-profit. So then you just don't start because you're not sure. When you get coaching and when you get support, you get a clear, when people come to me, I help them figure that out. I mean, like, no, you can turn this into a for-profit. And then as you make money in your for-profit, you can give more money to organizations that you care about, right? A lot of people want to start a nonprofit and they think they're going to go after some major grants right away. You can start a nonprofit, but it's going to take you a long time to go after some major grants. And you're going to have to learn how to build partnerships so then you could collaborate on grants. I can tell you funders, and I was a development director. I was a grant writer. I was a funder. I've done all this. And I know that a lot of big foundations don't give money to new nonprofits because you've never managed money. So they have to see you manage money before they're going to give you money. And a lot of people ain't willing to do the work. They want to go do that good work, but they don't know, they don't understand what it's going to take to get there. So I always encourage people to start a for-profit company if they have a skill, build that, make it profitable, so then you can give to these organizations and to that thing that you care about. So you want to make an impact in the world, but you're not sure, right, of the structure. You're searching for grants and free money to fund your cause, and you're getting discouraged because it seems so complicated. You're spinning your wheels trying to figure out your business and your business model that will help the people you truly desire. Yeah, you just have this desire to help people. I know so many people that are just like, have notepad after notepad, and they're researching and researching and watching video after video, and they still haven't launched that thing, but they have a desire. You desire to impact the world in bigger ways, but you don't know if a nonprofit or a for-profit is the right model. So you take years to figure it out with no traction. You can't quit your job and launch something you're not sure will work, so it stops you from moving forward. You are involved in your community, boards, commissions, and groups. You just don't know when you will have time. So you're giving of yourself, and this was me, you're giving yourself to every board, to every commission, to every committee, and you're jumping on everybody else's movement and everybody else's thing, but you're not focused on yourself. And sometimes that's an excuse. That gives you a reason to not focus on your thing. You're like, oh, I'm so busy, I don't have the time. Well, if you stop doing all these things for free, then you could work on your own stuff, right? You could, but you're not. And you're using that as an excuse to not move forward. You have not established yourself as a thought leader, and some people will follow and listen to you. Oh, you have not established yourself as a thought leader, and people will follow and listen to. I couldn't even read what I wrote. So you haven't established yourself yet, right? So you want to have a nonprofit, you want to make an impact, but nobody knows who you are. So you don't have partnerships. Like if you were able to launch a nonprofit, you were able to jump in a partnership right away and go after a major grant together. You don't have people that are going to endorse you to other foundations that know people at foundations to say, hey, look at, maybe you should consider giving money to this organization. You don't have those relationships yet. You have to build those, and you have to know how to build those. And I teach all that to my clients. The cost of all of this is your time. Your time is wasted. You've been wasting year after year dreaming about doing your vision, and you're not going after it. You're not doing it. So when you know what needs to be done, right? When we all get the help that we need and we know what needs to be done, you're inspired and motivated to take action daily. When I knew I had the train to get to that vision through that tunnel, and the train is a coach and the help and the support I needed, when I knew I had a ride there, then I'm motivated, inspired, and I'm doing that work every day to take action, right? I could see the path. I see the end of the tunnel. I know I'm on my way there. It's clear. Yeah, I'm confident, more likely to keep going. Right? My coach is encouraging me because we are building every day. So I'm looking at it and I'm seeing it being built. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. So my confidence is growing at the same time, right? You'll have access to get all your questions answered. So time is not wasted, right? When you have a coach, when you have support, you have somebody there to ask a question that you're not clear of, right? You're not sure, instead of spinning your wheels over and over again. So this is Ashley. Ashley joined my Powerhouse Academy, and after she joined my Powerhouse Academy, I connected her to a nonprofit because she actually thought she wanted to start a nonprofit, but I told her to focus on her for-profit professional development, writing resumes, and professional coaching for people that wanted to move up in their jobs. So anyway, she wanted to help formerly sex trafficked workers get ahead, right? She wanted to help that. And I knew of an organization that did that. So what I did is, a few weeks into Powerhouse Academy, I made an introduction to her to the founder of a sex trafficking organization. And they hired her in a contract to be the resume writer for the sex trafficking workers. So that's when I leveraged my relationships that I had to get her that contract. But she had the skills and the connections, and she had the skill to write the resumes, right, in her professional business, and give at the same time, but also make money. Do you see the possibilities in that way? So the third mistake people make is you're all over the place with ideas and you consider yourself a serial entrepreneur. You want to sell hair, you want to sell vitamins, you want to sell insurance, you want to sell law services, right? You start one venture and it doesn't blow up fast. So you start another one and you join another MLM and you start working on another idea, and the cycle continues. There are many of you that done this, right? You want to sell jewelry, you want to sell this, you want to sell that, and you think it's going to get rich quick, but it's not, right? What happens is you got to do that thing that you're really good at, right? That skill that you have that you can monetize. And that's what that's what I help you do, right? I had somebody that wanted to come sell health products in her MLM. She came to me and thought I was going to help her do it. But I found out that she was really good on social media and she was great at TikTok, and she was coaching people on how to run TikTok already. I turned her into a TikTok coach. And she helped that's her business now. And she runs a whole community teaching people how to work social media for their businesses. Sometimes you come to me thinking that you're going to do one thing, but I look at the big picture, and as a coach, you're able to look at the big picture and say, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Actually, you should be doing this, and this you can make a lot of money, and there's a lot of people out there that'll pay you for this. And sometimes we don't have the right guidance to show us that, right? So you don't know what you don't know. You haven't done the work to figure it out, to learn your niche. You don't know what you need to, like, what you're really good at, what I just told you. I can really look at all your professional life, all your skills, your certifications, what you did professionally, and what degrees you have, and figure out what is a service that you can really monetize, right? You don't know what you should be monetizing or how you can turn your expertise or passion into a profitable business. You're not sure if people will buy your thing, right? And you don't have the strategy or know what's even possible. And a lot of the information that I give my clients, because I pay so much money to get information, that when I share it, they're just mind blown. Like, I didn't even know this was possible. I didn't know I could create an online platform and teach people this. I didn't know that these companies will pay me this amount of money. I didn't know that I could get contracts for this. I didn't know, right? We don't know what we don't know. And what is this costing you? This is costing you more time. It's costing you more money, right? Because you're paying for this, you're paying for that, to join all these little groups to make money, and you're not making any money. It's costing you your happiness, your fulfillment, right? That fulfillment to build a legacy, that fulfillment to really make a difference in your life and in the world. So then, for generations, your family's talking about you. I want my family to talk about me. I want my grandkids to say, my grandma was a game changer, and I want to be just like her. That's what I desire. I want them to think about me in that way, right? And opportunity, it's costing you opportunity. So once you know what needs to be done, you become focused and excited about what you're building instead of confused and lost. And you can finally see the end of the tunnel. You can see the end of the horizon. The future looks exciting and it looks hopeful when you know what to do. So this is Cinia. I helped her build her Coco Tortillas business. She wanted to create an app when she originally came to me. She wanted to create a dental app because she's in the dental field. But her family and traditions, they cook coconut products and breads, and they were like selling them out of the house here and there. But she thought that was just a hobby. And I was like, girl, no, you could get these into stores. You can go to farmers markets. You could sell them and have sales every week. You can sell them for this price, increase the price, like all of this stuff. So I help her build that. And now she's having major sales. She's at farmers markets. She's starting to develop partnerships with restaurants and all that. So, she thought she wanted to create a dental app. But after talking with her, we got clear on exactly what her passion is. Because when she's in the kitchen making these coconut tortillas, they're dancing, having a good time, and they're having fun. And it's a family thing. It's a family tradition. And they didn't think they could really monetize off of it. But how many families that you've seen that created wonderful food products and their family name is connected to it? So why don't you think you can do it either? So I'm going to talk to you today about my Powerhouse 5-step framework to money, power, and respect, like how I got here to where I am, to I'm able to do the things that I do, right? The first step was I had to rewrite my mental constitution. I had to rewrite the stories that were going on in my head. I had to get out of my head. right? I had to change and just regroup this mind, because our mind will jack us up. Our mind will talk us out of some of the most amazing ideas, right? We think we're unworthy. We think that, we haven't seen anybody else do it, right? In our circles. So then we don't believe we can do it. So we say, oh, it's not possible. I've never seen anybody else do it. So our mindset is so important to be able to go to that next level, right? We're shifting. It's crucial to shift, right? For business success, we have to shift. Most of us live in a mindset of lack. Oh, that's too expensive. I can't afford it. I'll never be able to be a millionaire. We must shift to an abundance mindset. I can afford it. That's a great price. I will be a millionaire. If you are my client, you can't say can't, I won't, I can't, I don't know how, I'm not going to, I'll never get there. You can't use that language around me. The benefits of shifting your mindset are having a solid foundation. You're clear on your business. You're confident that you could help people and they will buy it from you. And I can tell you, once your mindset is shifted and you're more confident, then you truly start believing in your business, because you're not going to build anything you don't believe in. So you got to believe in it. Because if you don't believe in it, nobody's going to believe in it. So a strong mindset that is unshakable is unstoppable. Once you do the work to shift your mindset, nothing can discourage you and distract you away from the plan. Nothing. So this is Renee. Renee came to me with the owner of, she was at House of Vivid Design. So event planning, balloon, decorations, all of that, right? After she went through the Powerhouse, her confidence grew. I'm telling you, she's at multiple six figures now. She was barely making money and she thought she was going to have to go back to working. But after she went through the academy and got the coaching and support, she's been able to take her company. She's getting big contracts. She just did a big event for Shoe Palace. If you guys are familiar with Shoe Palace, but they flew her to Las Vegas and she did all their balloon decorations and their whole events for their anniversary event in Las Vegas. But this is the power of partnerships, the power of building and having that confidence and really following your dream and your vision. And that's what she did after she built her confidence, right? She had to build her confidence in the Powerhouse Academy. So, and this is Yanira. She did the same thing. She came to me as a deer in headlights, I'm telling you. And now you can find her on TikTok dancing her life away and doing videos constantly and going live. And she left her job and she's running her professional development and resume writing business full time. And she's doing amazing things. So I'm telling you, building your confidence is important. All right. Step 2 is identity shift. We have to change who we think we are, right? You have to live, you have lives to change. So you have to shift who I am. I know what helps me. I have to say I'm a millionaire. I have to say, oh, I'm going to make a decision like a millionaire. I'm going to make a decision like a CEO. I'm not going to make a decision in who I am presently, because that will stop me from moving forward, right? You will get nowhere. You want to be being the woman you are today. You must shift into the woman that you desire to be and start acting like her. So you have to start acting like her. You have to start acting like that boss. You have to make boss decisions. And making boss decisions is investing in yourself. Making boss decisions is finally taking action and doing something about your vision. Making moves like a CEO, boss, powerhouse, implement the alter ego effect. And what that alter ego effect to me is, okay, my alter ego is Jennifer Lopez. So I always think, what would Jennifer Lopez do? What would she do? What would a powerhouse do in this moment? Will she hide and cringe and say that's too expensive or I can't do it right now? Or will she take action? So I always try to think in that way now, right? This is Veronica Pena. She came to me. She wanted to start her own real estate photography business. She didn't believe she could, right? When she got the clarity and built out the structure of business, she was like, girl, I got this. I can do this. Right. So step 3, you got to build your credibility, right? What do you want to be known for? People are not going to hire you if you are not the best photographer, if you're not the best event planner, if you're not the best at making cocoa tortillas. So I teach my clients how to be loud and proud, right? If you know me and you follow me, that I'm always posting about who I am, what I do, what I have connections to, what I'm involved in, how I'm doing and all this stuff, right? People need to know if you want them to hire you. You can't be hiding and you want business. Social media is your own commercial. Social media is your own television show. And a lot of you aren't taking advantage of that. So why should anybody listen to you or buy from you? How do I know that you're the best at what you do? I haven't seen pictures online. I haven't seen you post or video of anything what you do. Your audience has to hear from you. They have to see your message. They have to understand what you stand for. Step 4, power moves. Your network is your net worth. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. How do you make friends and connections with decision makers and power players, right? I help my clients figure that out because I can tell you the only reason I've been able to leverage my business fast and really make a lot of partnerships and contracts that I've received is because of relationships. Somebody introduced me, somebody sees me on social media and they're like, oh, Chandra's all about this. Let's bring her in to moderate. Let's bring her in to teach this workshop because she is a powerhouse. We want all our staff to be powerhouses like Chandra. Let's bring her in to train them. Right? But those are all through connections, and those are all through knowing the right people. You got to know the right people in the right places to get opportunity. So your network is your net worth. Right? How do you enter rooms where you don't have to be introduced? You don't. You know, where somebody says, I heard about you. I seen you in that magazine, right? I heard about your Powerhouse Academy. Oh, you're Powerhouse. You're Chandra Brooks. I hear that all the time. And this is not a brag. This is just what it is, right? But it takes work to get there. You've seen all the publications. You see all the awards I got. It's taken work to get there. And a lot of people don't want to do that work. A lot of people don't want to do the footwork to build that credibility, but I teach you guys how to do it faster. I teach you how to build that influence faster. It didn't have to take you 20 years. So what I'm teaching you is saying like, look, come work with me. Take my speedboat so you don't have to take your paddle boat. Do you get it? The paddle boat's going to take you longer, but my speedboat will get you there faster. So this is Anna Rita. And her thing is so long, I can't even really talk about it. But what I can tell you is that Anna Rita has more awards than the Powerhouse. And she had no awards before she came to me and the Powerhouse. So Anna Rita has 25 plus awards around the world. Around the world. Okay? And she's written several books. Before she came to me, she was a daycare provider. She was a daycare provider worker. She worked for this nonprofit organization, probably only making a little bit amount of money, right? And now she has awards all across the world. Like her city has honored her for the books she's written and the impact she's made. She created a Filipino community online where they go and help and make an impact in other communities. Y'all, I'm not playing here, right? When you really take action on your vision, you're amazed on the things that you can do. It's amazing. Step 5, money moves. How do you monetize your genius and expertise, right? I'm not about giving all this genius for free, right? How do you learn how to print money on demand? How do you build a profitable, marketable, and sustainable business? How do you create digital products? Tap into your corporate and government contracts. Like all these things I teach you, right? I have access to. How do you gain? Anybody can do corporate contracts or government contracts because the government buys everything, if you all don't know that. The government buys everything from spam to tuna to shoes to your services that you offer, event planning. If you are a singer, if you are a speaker, they purchase it, they buy it. The government needs services everywhere for every division and department, and there's billions of dollars available, and not enough people that are registered and know that these opportunities are available to take them. So this is Fane. Fane just hit 1.3 million. If you see at the top corner, she shared this for me to show me her income, okay, for the year. She came to me only making $5,000 a month, and now she's making 1.3 million in a year. She has an in-home care business. But that confidence and the strategy and learning how to go find clients and customers, she needed that, right? I reached out to her and I said, hey, when are you going to hire me? And that's probably the best decision she ever made because now she's traveling around the world with her family, taking them on trips because now she's a millionaire. So if you take one thing away from this masterclass, I want you to know that you can bring that idea to life and you can build it without second guessing yourself on how you're going to do it and where you're going to start, right? You can stop now second guessing because if you've seen all the people that I've shared and all the visions, that I have these women are all on video interviews for me. They're not fake people. So you can go Google me. You can go to my YouTube channel. You can find me on social media. Go to my personal page. Anything. These videos are there for you to watch. These are real stories. I've developed this framework that will guide you in the right direction to take your first steps in building your dream. And I've also outlined that framework for you today, right? I just told you all about it, right? So the big question is like, how can you apply this framework to your and build it so you can leave your job and make more money, all while working on your own schedule and spending less time struggling? Or you can waste tons of time and effort trying to figure it all by yourself and all alone, or you can fast